Hey guys, welcome back to another quick daily Bible reading. Today I'm going to be reading Nehemiah chapter 6, verses 1 through 9. So this is after Nehemiah has talked to the nobles in that area about the taxes that they were imposing on the people for what they had borrowed to get through the famine. And now it says, further opposition to the rebuilding. So Nehemiah chapter 6, verses 1 through 9. When word came to Sanballat, Tobiah, Geshem, the Arab, and the rest of our enemies that I had rebuilt the wall and not a gap was left in it, though up to that time I had not set the doors and the gates. Sanballat and Geshem sent me this message: "Come, let us meet together in one of the villages on the plain of Ono." But they were scheming to harm me, so I sent messengers to them with this reply: "I am carrying on a great project and cannot go down. Why should the work stop while I leave it and go down to you?" 4 times they sent me the same message, and each time I gave them the same answer. Then the 5th time, Sanballat sent his aide to me with the same message, and in his hand was an unsealed letter in which was written: "It is reported among the nations, and Geshem says it is true, that you and the Jews are plotting to revolt, and therefore you are building the wall. Moreover, according to these reports, you are about to become their king, and have even appointed prophets to make this proclamation about you in Jerusalem. There is a king in Judah. Now this report will get back to the king, so come, let us confer together." I sent him this reply: "Nothing like what you are saying is happening. You are just making it up out of your head." They were all trying to frighten me, thinking, their hands will get too weak for the work, and it will not be completed. But I prayed, "Now strengthen my hands." So, let's go back to the very beginning. It's important to remember that Nehemiah got permission from the king to do this work. He told him exactly where he'd be going and what he'd be doing, and even got letters for the towns he'd be passing through for those governors to give him the material that he needs and to give him safe passage. And he sent armed men with him to make sure that he got there safely. So that's 1. 2, Nehemiah was sent by God. He was appointed to do this work, so he doesn't need anybody else's permission, though he did get the king's permission. So the lies that Sanballat is telling are shown to be blatant lies because Nehemiah has already spoken with the king, but Sanballat and his posse don't know that. So they're putting their foot in their mouths by saying that these things are true when Nehemiah has permission from the very man that they're speaking about. So they're literally just trying to discourage him and his people from the work that they're doing when they have no connection to it. They're not even Israelites. So you have to remember that the enemy will do anything possible, anything in his purview to try to get you to stop doing the work that God has appointed you to do because he knows that there's a purpose for it. He may not know what it is because the enemy is not omniscient like God is, but he knows if he gets you to stop, whatever plan God has for you will not come to fruition. So make sure that you're listening more to God, overall to God, and not the enemy. Don't let the things that the enemy tells you stay in your head and get you off track. You have to remember God, remember what he told you, and then right here in verse 9, "But I prayed." That's what Nehemiah said. "But I prayed. Now strengthen my hands." So not stop them from talking about me, stop them from doing this, stop them from making it seem like I'm doing something wrong. Strengthen my hands. Keep me at this work. Keep me strong in what I'm doing. Keep me in the mindset of what you told me to do. Let me finish this work. Let me complete what you've asked me to do, God, because it's something that you told me to do. So that's the most important thing. Don't ever let the enemy get you off track because the lies that the enemy tells will never be as strong as what God has told you to do, or more important. And not only is it important, but we have to remember that the enemy isn't always coming from outside sources. Sometimes we can be or allow the enemy to work in our minds to belittle ourselves and to talk ourselves out of doing what God has asked us to do. We are so confident the first few days God gives it to us, or, the first day God gives it to us. We're so confident we know what we're supposed to do. We feel strong in that. We start researching, we start doing the thing. And then as the days go on, we're feeling a little bit less confident, saying, maybe he didn't give this to me. Maybe I didn't hear right. Maybe I didn't understand correctly, or I'm not good enough to do this. I don't really know what I'm doing. I am not the right person to be doing this. I'm not successful in this area, so why would he ask me to do this? The thing is, he knows exactly who you are. He knows exactly who he's called you to be. Don't belittle yourself or talk down on the person that God made you, because he made you. He knows exactly who you are, so he knows what you are capable of through him. So you saying that you're not capable of doing this, saying that you're not good enough to do this, is saying basically that God isn't who he says he is. He isn't as great as he says he is, because anything he's asked you to do, he will give you power to do it. The power comes from God. So you saying that you can't do this is basically saying that God is not as powerful as he is, which is not true. So always remember, 1, God is exactly who he says he is, who his word says he is. And 2, if he's called you to do it, he will strengthen you to do it. So while the enemy may come from outside sources, people coming in or saying things that will cause you to rethink what you're doing, also, it could be in your own mind that the enemy will speak to you and make it seem like it's one of your thoughts. So don't allow him to do that either. Don't allow him to draw you back or set you back or to second guess what God has given you. If he gave it to you, he will strengthen you to do it. Nehemiah asked God to strengthen his hands. Give me the strength, the power, the fortitude to continue in this work. The outside influences may never change, but what needs to change is your mindset. You need to be strengthened to be able to do what God has called you to do, because that is, like I said, the most important thing, completing the work God has given you. So that's all I have to say for now, guys. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful, blessed day. Keep this in mind. If there's anything that God has given you that you have maybe put to the side or second guessed or saying that you're not good enough to do, take that back to him. Ask him to strengthen your hands. Ask him to strengthen and fortify your mind to be able to do the work that he has given you to do. Don't ever count yourself out if it's something God has given you, because what God establishes, it will not fail. God does not fail. He cannot fail. It's impossible for him. It's not in his nature to fail. So if it's something he's given you, he's behind you in that thing. He's pushing you along. He's giving you the strength. Just make sure that you're taking it back to him to stay strengthened, to stay in the right mindset. So that's all I have to say. You guys have a blessed day. I'll see you next time. Bye.